to a January broadcast. We're now in 2010. Some really good energies coming this year, and certainly around me, there's quite a few people having changes in their relationship and their work as well. And you wrote a really good article that you posted on the site about 2010 managing the energies and initiations.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite remarkable to sort of see what's going on in people's lives around me and people that I work with and assist. And yeah, there are, you mentioned about the relationship energies, and obviously we discussed that this year, numerology wise, is the life cycle number 3, which represents communication as a whole. Also the relationships that are going on. There's lots of people that seem to be really having these testing times to see whether the relationships can kind of carry forward and stand the test of time. And I think we're seeing a lot of sort of shocking endings, and it seems like the word countdown comes to me really, and it kind of seems like we are on this even heavier cleansing than last year in particular. And I wrote about in the article that the fact that it's really going to be harder, even harder to continue in spaces and situations in our life this year where it just doesn't feel right. We're going to consult our feelings and our heart space a lot more this year. And I think that not only are we being guided by our higher selves, there's obviously a lot of help from, you know, certain forces that are assisting the earth right now. And those light workers that are really have planned, if you like, quite a detailed mission, or a mission that is going to assist a lot of people, then they're going to be really pushed, almost like, you know, you're not in alignment now, let's move you around. And so I think sometimes this year, especially that we're seeing from New Year's, it feels like, it can often feel like we're literally just being taken out of one reality and plonked into a new one. There you go. So although some of it is our own decision making, we are definitely, without a doubt, I feel, having a lot of assistance with whatever you want to call this, your higher self and your soul extensions and your monad and family, soul group family, but also from angels and other guides that work with you on a higher scheme. And I really do feel that there are certain tools that we can use to get through this, but basically trying to deny now at this point, or trying to just use the logic over your heart, is going to be a difficult road, because resistance is not going to work well with these changing energies.
Basically, if you're around people that are not necessarily in your own mindset, it's probably become tougher, isn't it?
Yes, that one is going to become tougher. I think what I've been seeing over the last couple of years is that the light workers that are awakening, or have been awakening for the last couple of years or so, and from when I've been obviously doing my work and assisting people, it's like light workers go through this phase where we have to feel this sense of loneliness, aloneness. You know, every light worker has an initiation where they must feel at some point in their life so alone, or something that's so difficult that takes them to understand a sort of deep either darkness in themselves or a fear, and that's what makes a light worker able to go to that unconditional love and that space of to crack the ego slightly, if we like. And the thing is, what we're seeing now is that a lot of those light workers have found their, what we can call their light families. A lot of those light workers, don't get me wrong, there's still going to be people out there that are feeling very alone. I'm not saying that. And there's people that are still just coming round to sort of waking up and seeing what is going on in their world and things crashing down for them. But there are many, many, many more people on the globe right now that are linking up with their own light families. And the thing is, they might actually either be in relationships that have been serving them to propel them even quicker. So, you know, we talk about twin flame relationships, and we talk about other types of soulmate relationships where we contract with that person to become our teacher. And these lessons some of them might be coming to a close, where we've learnt what we need to learn. And it might be that perhaps we choosing to vibrate with somebody at a higher, you know, the same frequency, or it might just be that certain partnerships now are feeling really drawn to be with other partners who are also on the path to ascension. Because, I mean, let's face it, if you're in a relationship and you have got this whole way of being and you're working towards ascension and your partner is not, it's like it's like anything. When we look at psychology, there's a process where when one partner grows very quickly and moves very rapidly through their life, if the other person can't keep up or does not want to grow and change, then that relationship will at some point, you know, the partners were talking very closely, and if you like, in the end, they'll be shouting at each other from a long distance. I mean, that's painful, because when you love someone, it's a very difficult thing to have to go through, but we're going to see a lot of that. We really are going to see, you know, the fact that there's light workers with other light workers, and we're kind of waiting for them to wake up. And
so do you think this will be the year when other people are forced to wake up? Because I mean,
yes.
looking at the energies, or some of the channelings I've read, certainly on the internet, a lot of people are speaking about the energy of disclosure, which could shock a lot of people.
Yes, yeah. Oh, this year is, obviously I don't want to go into whole predictions, things and stuff like that, but I just really felt, I mean, every time that we go into a new year, obviously the winter solstice and stuff, there's lots of these energies that we have to process, but I really feel that we're going to externally this year, this is the year where we're going to see a lot of stuff happening externally. It's not just always going to, it's not going to be just our inner journeys, you know, as light workers. The economy collapse is just, I'm just like thinking, when's it going to happen? Because it's just ridiculous. It's wrong. I think we can almost touch. Yeah, we can almost touch it. It's like, you know, I'm seeing people defaulting. I call it defaulting because it amuses me, myself almost combined, you know. But I see people defaulting the system, i.e., like just there's people that have got these huge debts. There's businesses I know around me with people that have had for years that are like going bust. There's like people that are just have walked out on their jobs and also deciding to work from their heart, and just people are kind of, you know, they're not using the system, but in a way because people in an essence are changing so much inside, they are getting rid of these outdated beliefs about needing security in the way that we used to need it. For example, after the wars, you know, the First World War and the Second World War. So, for example, our grandparents that made their lives all about stability and being married just for the sake of it, because you've got to stay with your partner even if you're not in love, and also just keeping the home. And we've gone, if you look at that now, where we are in society with all the indigo children coming in who are the complete opposite energy, it's like, if it doesn't feel right, chuck it out. You know, it's massive what is happening right now, and all of this combined means that people nowadays are growing up, or also light workers that are awakened, are being aware that we need to take a whole new worldview about what we mean by stability, security. And I think the word for me this year that I keep hearing is nomadic, right? And that means that we all get attached to things. That's the egoic thing. We all get attached to things, you know, cars, homes. I mean, I've done it myself, and I've had some initiations personally in my life that I've been working through this new year. And what I really heard is that, you know, one of the things that's going to get us through these next couple of years is the fact that we need to carry everything we are with us. And the only way I can describe that is we have gifts inside us. We need to make ourselves as accessible as we can to move around the world with having our work inside us, you know, or our skills, or the love that we have for our family, all these things, because in the end, we can't carry these objects and these things with us. And that's why I think lightworkers are being asked to say, this is your time now, follow your heart, because we need people out there having these sorts of services. Because let's face it now, if you're in a job that is either in the city or some kind of job that those jobs are just not going to be required where we're going now. But we always need food, and we'll always need helpers, we'll always need service people, carers, you know. So I just sort of advise people and light workers that sometimes when our heart leads us to take a step in faith and saying, you know, oh, can I really do that though? It's not logical. And what about my mortgage and all this? Forget all that, you know. In a couple of years' time, okay, I might be wrong, but the way I'm feeling is that we've got to prepare, and what that preparing is by going into. You can still have a business, don't get me wrong, but what is your business? Is your business going to be needed? Is it a spiritual business? Is it a caring business? Is it just about profit making, or has it got love there somewhere in it? And I really think that these are the kind of things, the questions we need to ask ourselves. So it's not stupid just to go out and take this risk, you know. It means that there's a lot more sense to it that currently we can't see right now in terms of the big initiations and steps we're having to be brave and take these leaps of faith. Just want to say to everybody out there just to really think about allowing their heart to lead them this year in particular, and just to be directed by that rather than the mind.